Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to go over the very basics of JavaScript, using JavaScript in your web page by talking about a few methods that you'll never use again. Okay, so I've got a blank page set up and I'm using Visual Studio Code here. So let's try a little bit of JavaScript, and we'll start off first here by putting a set of script tags right inside of the head section of our page. And I'll comment this off first with an HTML comment. This is going to be internal script, as opposed to an external script, which I would use a source attribute right in here. Now, with JavaScript, there are methods, and methods are simply built-in features, abilities, functions of native objects. So it's basically, you can think of a method as something an object can do by default. So let's go ahead and try one that's super obvious. And when we're going to write our script, we'll use a dot notation based off of the document object model, or the DOM or DOM. So the window is a main object, and I can do dot alert. So this is a basic method, and I'll do a closing semicolon here. So alert is basically the method of the window object, our browser window specifically. And to really see this, we can go ahead and put a little note in here, hello world, which is the very common first output for a program. I'm going to go ahead and Control S to save, and I've already got this loaded up in my browser here. I can just go ahead and reload, and I'm going to get the little alert pop-up, hello world. So I'm going to click OK to get rid of that alert pop-up. Now, of course, the alert method is pretty cool in that since it's specifically for the window object, we can actually avoid even putting that window object reference in there, even though it's really in there behind the scenes. Control S to save, Alt Tab to my browser, reload, and sure enough, I still get that alert popping up. So that's the alert method. Now, you're not going to use that very often, if at all, going forward. It's certainly not a professional way to display content on a web page. However, it might still have a little bit of value if you wanted to maybe just put a little output to yourself while you were testing something. However, for yourself, I would probably recommend using console.log, which I don't want to demo here because this is all about methods you'll never use. Or you would output directly to the web page, so where a user can actually see it. So the alert method is one of those that we won't be using. Here's another one that you would never use. Prompt. So with the prompt method, another derivative of the window basically, is it's going to pop up a kind of like an alert, but it'll actually have a text box where I can type. Control S to save, head over to my browser and refresh. There's my alert, hello world, and now I'm getting a prompt, what is your name? And I can go ahead and type in my name and click OK. Now that value, that content, is still loaded into this prompt, but in theory I should have made a variable for it. So I could have said something like let x equal prompt, and then I have my name in that variable. And of course I could display this easily with another alert. Actually, I don't want to do parentheses or quotes there. I'll just put in X. So basically, I'm going to have an alert pop up that says hello world. I'll click OK. Then I'm going to have a prompt pop up asking me for my name. My name will be entered and loaded into the variable X. And then I'll have another alert pop up displaying my name. Control S to save. Alt Tab browser refresh. Hello world. Click OK. Type on my name. Press enter. And there's the alert with my name. So once again, prompt is not the best way to get information from your users because that's what we can use text boxes for, other form elements, to get that input, assign it to variables, and do things with it. And the last method that you'll never use, I'm going to put down in the body of the page, and I still need script tags even if I'm going to put it in the body of the page. And for this one, I'm going to refer to the document object dot the write method. So basically, I'm going to write. Write is a method for the document, as opposed to alert and prompt being methods for window. If window is your main object, then you don't need to have the object window name on there. But document is our object, so I am going to include document. So basically, this will literally put content on the page. This is content. And I'm putting that string within a set of quotes. And I can save, I can switch back over to my browser and reload. Of course, I'm getting this information. And then finally, I can see that I have some content on my web page. Now you'll notice that when I ran this, notice my page is blank while this is happening. JavaScript is an interpreted language, and it's being interpreted or read line by line by my browser. So of course this script is all happening in the head section, which is taking place before the body of the page even loads. That's why I have to go through these scripts first before the content on my page loads and the content that I have here displayed. Just like we did before, though, we could do something where we had a window prompt. Window prompt. Enter your city. And of course, I'm typing the word window there, even though I don't really need it. I'm going to enter my city. And in fact, let's go ahead and let a variable equal that. So how about let y equal window prompt? And then for my document write, instead of having a string in there, I'll just have the variable y show up. So Control S to save, head back over to my browser, refresh, go through this little process, click OK. Now what is my city? I'm going to type in Bend, I'll click OK, and now we'll have that content display on the web page. There are better ways to add content to web pages, so you will probably never use the write method. You'll never use the prompt method to get information from your users, and you'll never use the alert method to create a pop-up for your users. There you go, a few methods you're never going to use.